So, you want to get into drones, right? This could be the video for you. Now, it's no secret, drones recently have got a bit of a bad press. There's lots of negativity surrounding drones, and it is a real shame because they are amazing tools, especially for photography and filming. They add icing on the cake to a lot of videos. Now, as a YouTuber, I use camera drones all the time. I also fly FPV drones because I absolutely love the thrill of flying fast through gaps, and that is just a hobby that is just so immersive, absolutely amazing. But I do get asked all the time, what drone should I get if I just want to take some pictures, or I just want to get something up in the air and I want to, you know, be a part of that whole thing. So if you've been looking to get into drones and you've done a bit of research so far, you've probably come across the name DJI. DJI is the most prolific drone maker on the planet. They really have smashed things out of the park and made a massive impact. I mean, the chances are, if you come across someone flying a camera drone out and about, it's probably a DJI drone. And there is a reason for that. They're tried and tested, they're safe, they won't do anything unexpected most of the time. And if you go down the DJI route, you're probably going to have the best experience as a beginner that you possibly could have. So guys, this is the Mini 3 Pro. This is one of DJI's latest offerings, and it pretty much flies itself. It has obstacle avoidance in front and rear axes, and also on the bottom as well. So it's pretty difficult to crash this drone, I've got to say. It's also very, very stable in the air. I'm not actually at the controls at all at the moment. I'm literally just holding this camera. And this particular model comes with the DJI RC, which is basically an Android-driven remote control. It's an incredible bit of engineering, and it just works so seamlessly. So everything you can do to control this drone is done through here on this touchscreen, and that basically resembles a mobile phone. So let's go for a little fly then. I'll start the motors. Let's get it into a hover. It's literally just one stick movement, that was. I mean, this is so stable, guys. It's holding its position absolutely perfectly. So let's go for a little cruise. I'll start the recording and then we'll head off. So as you can see, it's so quiet. You can't even, well, you can hear, it's quiet. You can't hear that drone. It's not actually that far away at all. You know, we're 200 meters away or so. I can still see it absolutely fine. And yeah, look, that is amazing, that shot. That's going to be really good. And we can see the whole area. The sun is actually coming from, I think the sun's sort of behind us, because obviously that makes a difference to what you know, how your shot's going to look, having some good lighting on the subject. So now what we can do is we can actually turn around back towards the home point, which is up there in the distance. You can see over there by the trees there, and then we can put it in sport mode, which is going to give you a little bit of extra speed, but this will not have obstacle avoidance, so you've got to be careful with this. Make sure that nothing's in the way when you come back. So I'm going to give it full power, and we're going to start to come back, and I'm going to add a bit of yaw in there as well, just to get the right direction. And she's coming back. I'm going to tilt the gimbal up a little bit, and we're coming right in. Wow, that was coming in so fast. So we can play back the footage on here. It does like a low res preview directly from the drone, which is really handy. So you can just quickly check your shots and make sure you got exactly what you need. That's the advantage of having this controller, because you haven't got to have your phone charged or plugged in. You know, if a phone call goes off or something, it's not going to affect your drone operations, which is good. Right, I've landed now and I've stuck it back on charge. I'm using a bit of a weird setup to charge it. You can charge these off of, you can actually, if you can find a power delivery power bank, these charge really quickly on that. So you don't even really need, you know, multiple batteries. I've only got one battery for this at the moment. So yeah, you can charge them very fast on phone chargers as well. That's one thing I've noticed. So you can get back up in the air pretty quickly. So these drones have also got some really interesting features. Like if you want to get, you know, shots of cars or things moving, people, that sort of thing, capturing the action, they've got a lot of cool features now. Like there's a follow me feature, which will actually attempt to track an object. I've never had much luck with these things, to be honest, but they do work. I prefer to sort of do it manually. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can get the shot, and these things have got some pretty impressive flight time as well. 25 minutes, maybe half an hour. They'll stay up in the air in a hover, so you can actually kind of move it about, get the shot you want. You haven't got to worry about the battery kind of dipping down, because these sorts of drones, the camera drones, they are basically geared towards having massive flight time at the expense of kind of sheer power. and that's what I'm going to show you next. What is possible with a small under 250 gram drone, that when you can actually fly full manual mode. Just for the record, the Mavic Mini Pro does not allow you to fly manual mode at all. You're always going to be flying in a sort of assisted mode, which is fine if you're a beginner and you want to kind of do that. But if you want to go to the next step, you need this. So this is the iFlight Defender. So you can see it looks completely different to the DJI drone over there, the Mini 3 Pro. And this is what we call a Cinewhoop. So this is actually a purely manual FPV drone, so you've got no assistance features here at all. This will crash if you did what I did earlier and just head up towards that tree over there. There's nothing to stop it hitting anything, so you need to be flying this in manual, and it is actually pretty difficult to learn this, you know, straight away. It doesn't take that much time to learn, but it takes time. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Now, the way this works, it also has a controller like the other drone, but you see there's no screen on it apart from that OLED one there that gives you the essential information. But the way you fly this is in these goggles here, so it's like a VR kind of setup. So what you see in these goggles here is actually coming from this camera on the front, so it gives you the impression that you are the pilot sitting right where that camera is. And these things are fast. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying, coming over saying.
You can, you know what I mean? You're a bit open here.
Yeah.
Shouldn't do it, and I can't say come up there you're fine, but you're less likely to.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. So I don't want to cause any trouble, but
you're quite clearly not causing any trouble. We understand that, and sometimes
I know. It's one of these things, isn't it? It's like sort of rules.
Rules is rules, pal. We're asked people to adhere to them. That's all we can do.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. No worries. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye. So yeah, guys, that was a couple of the park rangers. Apparently, you're not allowed to fly here. So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment. But hey ho, he did actually. To be fair to him, he was actually pretty cool. He was just sort of like saying, well, you probably heard it. He was sort of saying, you know, you're not really supposed to do it, but maybe just keep out of the way and stuff like that. So guys, this is what I was talking about earlier. Drones getting a bad name and a bad press. This is what you will face at some point. If you're out flying a lot, at some point you will end up with a situation like that where they sort of say, oh, you can't fly it, and they don't really know why. They just sort of say you can't. If a park has a policy for not flying, then that's fine. You've got to respect that. But obviously if you don't know, then you have to be told, so that's absolutely fine. So guys, back in the studio now. It was kind of good that did actually pop up, that situation, because it's a drone beginners video, and that's kind of what you can face and, you know, out there when you're actually flying. So yeah, so to talk about the setups that I showed you in this video, when people sort of say, oh, you know, what should I get? Basically, I normally recommend just getting something DJI to start with, because it's going to save you a whole heap of hassle, like trying to figure these things out. There's lots of support out there for these drones, and, you know, you'll have a better experience. So the Mini 3 Pro drone set up with the DJI RC costs about $850, $875, something like that, for the full package. And you can just basically just, you know, turn that on and get going straight away. It's a very, very intuitive kind of setup process, very easy to set up and everything else. And you kind of expect that for that sort of money, but that is kind of getting you, you know, one of the latest and greatest drones that you can fly pretty much anywhere. I say, as I've just been, you know, collared for flying in the park. But basically, yeah, you know, you can fly that most places because it's under 250 grams. Now, you do have to register drones with the CA. This video is not going to be kind of about that. I'm not going to go into that. There's plenty of resources online, but be aware you do have to register your drones these days, no matter what weight they are. and you know, you should have some insurance and XYZ. There's lots of resources out there. Maybe I'll cover this in another video, but it is a little bit boring. So I just like to do the fun stuff, really, to be honest. But yeah, so that's a good option. Another option, what you could do if you just wanted kind of, you know, some video footage and photo stuff, is you could maybe go for not that drone in particular, but go for one that maybe doesn't have the flashy controller, and then you use the phone instead. So you can get that for around sort of 650-ish or something. You know, a couple of £100 less than the one with the, you know, the nice display and everything else. But I love that controller. It's just absolutely amazing. Now, down from that, really, price-wise, you could probably get down to around £300-400 for something like, pick up like an older model like Mini 2 SE, or like even like a Mini 1 is actually pretty good. Like the original Mini is actually still pretty good. I've got one around here. I used it only the other day, and it's still surprising the footage you can get out of that. It's got no obstacle avoidance at all though, so you know, you got to be careful. You know, it won't prevent crashes or anything like that, but still super stable and amazing, you know, an amazing drone. If you want to go into FPV, I would kind of probably advise just, you know, having a go on something that isn't an FPV drone first, because FPV stuff is a whole new ball game. There is a DJI drone that kind of does it all. It does basically FPV and acts as a bit of a kind of camera drone as well. It's got some, you know, features, not really any obstacle avoidance or anything like that, but it is a great drone if you would just want to get one thing that kind of does it all. Not everything well, but it does it all. But yeah, it's not a great FPV drone, and it's not a great camera drone. It's kind of like right in the middle of everything, in my opinion anyway. And that is that one up there. That's the DJI Avata. So you fly that again in goggles. You don't use the DJI RC control with that, unfortunately. They won't allow you to do that for some reason, even though it is technically the same system. Anyway, in a nutshell, DJI Avata, if you're serious about, you know, trying to learn FPV, get a DJI Avata. If you just want to take camera shots, get something DJI, you know, wherever your budget fits, and make sure that it's under 250 grams really, because it will save you a whole heap of hassle. I've heard of people getting, you know, fines in different countries for flying stuff that's over 250 grams now. It's just not worth it. You might as well. You can get small drones that do everything. Now, the other option, which I'm going to be testing out, a company called Potensic has actually just sent me this. This, I've just literally been playing around with it in the last day or so, and I tell you what, for 300 quid this is actually pretty damn good. I will say that this is actually not bad at all. It's not got like a fully stabilised gimbal on it, so the camera footage, you know, can be a little bit shaky if you do the wrong thing or if you're not flying smoothly. But I'm going to do a full review on this very soon. But this company is super responsive as well. I've been messaging them, asking them if they can, you know, change features, do different things, you know, going forward. So this is one to watch, guys. This brand, I'll tell you what, it's interesting. DJI could be, look, they're never going to be knocked off the top spot, realistically. But yeah, these guys are definitely onto something here. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and it's given you a bit of an insight to drones and what you want to do. And yeah, now I've got a video I can reference when people ask me. So that's going to save me a whole heap of time. Good stuff, guys. Don't forget, buy the album as well. I've put it down, the link to the tunes and stuff like that in the video. You've just seen one of those tunes. Actually, I think, I don't know. Anyway, some of those tunes, the tunes from the videos are in that album, so go check that out. It supports the channel if you like what I'm doing and everything else. I'll catch you later.